So, welcome to Daily Practice with Nikhil. And in today's practice, we are going to be doing a meditation to begin with, and then we are going to completely change the way we look at our own subconscious blockages and release them. So, this meditation you can start off is a gift for you. So, I invite you to gently and consciously bring your attention to your mind, to the body, and make sure you are feeling comfortable wherever you are. Once you are settled, just for a moment, bring the awareness to your mind and all the thoughts and judgments it comes up with. Let it be here today, and just go ahead and let your eyes gently soft close. Just a gentle soft close. Let it just fall onto your body. As you do, bring your focus to your breath. Notice the breath. Nothing needs to change. Just allow your breath to flow freely, find its own natural rhythm. Feel how each breath creates more open space inside of you. A calm, safe space to simply be with whatever thoughts or feelings arise. Your breath is this vehicle, expanding and releasing you in every cycle. Now I invite you to bring to mind your intention for the practice. What are your hopes and dreams? What are your thoughts about overcoming these blocks you may have and releasing them? Perhaps you can even begin to imagine those solutions taking an abstract shape in your mind's eye. Even a brief glimpse is perfect. And as your journey continues, notice that the more you relax, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the more you relax. And you start to begin to see the hints of images, sounds, and just become aware of those subtle shifts in your feelings. This is all completely normal. Noticing it and just being with it, inviting it even, simply means that your mind is unwinding and creating surprising new opportunities and possibilities for you. Give yourself permission to truly explore who you are. Remember, you're always safe and in control. Now feel yourself easily moving down a path that feels so familiar. This is a bright, inviting trail that promises deep satisfaction and reward. Maybe a hiking trail, maybe a lovely walk you've taken and you're familiar with. And as you walk, notice the nature around you. You can feel the warmth of the sun, smell the rich organic scents of crops and fresh mint in the air. The sound of nearby streams of water gently flowing, bringing with it a sense of calm and harmony and peace. Looking up, you see beautiful bird soaring in the sky, gliding along its way. And it feels like you're so deeply connected to this magical creature in this moment, as a part of you is walking on the ground while a part of you is soaring high above. Now, you both are one and the same, embracing a wonderful feeling of true freedom. Now, feel a gentle flow of natural energy moving up from the earth through your feet up into your legs. And this calming energy relaxes your muscles, soothes your nerves, and as you breathe out, imagine the air you exhale is a soft, grey, old tension. Simply dissolving all the tension away. And with each new breath in, you take in a pure mist of air, replenishing yourself with peaceful, ancient healing energy. And as you continue on this journey, notice that the time feels different here. You might witness the sun setting and rising again in an instant. This is a place where self-evolution can be planted and grow faster than you imagine. And in your hands you hold a handful of seeds. And these seeds are for your mind's deepest wishes, your most authentic dreams. You have the power to scatter them across this fertile field, watching in awe as they instantly sprout into new and colorful flowers, trees, unique plants that represent beautiful desires and expressions of your own deepest self, taking root and finding real purpose. These are the pathways of your life, representing all your experiences, your relationship, your career, your health, every part of who you are. This is a moment of healing. Notice the incredible power you had. With a simple touch of your hand, you have unblocked, you have planted the seed of truth, and it instantly starts to grow, instantly starts to heal and glow with a brilliant, bright light. You have all the power you need to bring healing and light to these spaces, rebuilding and strengthening any pathway you choose. You are clearing out the old energies and reclaiming your life with a sense of thrilling new purpose. Now, as my voice gently fades, know that your mind is already working for you. It's integrating these seeds into powerful changes. These seeds can be anything you wish to be true, anything you wish to release. And over the coming days, you will start to notice a powerful new sense of ease and calm in your daily life. You'll feel better, you will think more clearly, and you find yourself living with a newfound sense of freedom. So rest easy now as you are in beautiful safe space. You've done wonderful work, and now you can drift off into sleep or use this energy for the day ahead. So thank you for practicing with me. So we often think beliefs as something we choose consciously, like a favorite color or a political opinion. But many of our most powerful beliefs are hidden, working in the background of our minds without us even knowing it. Like quiet whispers, old stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we are capable of. And these are the subconscious beliefs that can either push us towards the goal we want or hold us back. And holding us back is not a sabotaging behavior, it's more of a survival mechanism which is confusing. So, the power of perspective is what we took in this exercise. So, we use this idea of gaining perspective from some other vantage point. From there, we can see different ideas, different ways in which to look at ourselves. Often, when we get hurried in our daily lives, our focus narrows into one thing. And then this example or this practice of just simply moving away from that one thing and giving yourself a wider vantage helps to bring these beliefs into view. So that's why we did this exercise of noticing a bird flying above our sky, above our heads. In the same way, we can learn to step back and look at our own lives from this point. So when we do this, we begin to see patterns and beliefs that have shaped us. We can observe them without judgment, simply noticing how they connect, and suddenly we feel a sense of freedom, like we are both walking on the ground and soaring in the sky. So, in this new perspective, we can truly begin our work. And when we are in a state of calmness, the brain waves are in theta, which is a place where suggestions can happen. This is where actually we spend most of our life in our childhood. We are just absorbing, and then we start to create these identities, these beliefs, these loops which just reinforce our behaviors, and we think that is our purpose or that is what we should do. So, in the state of calmness is the ideal time to plant new seeds, new thoughts, new hopes, new ideas, new beliefs that can really help you. Now, the problem with beliefs are either the beliefs are stopping you or they are not. Either a belief is taking you to some place or either it is stopping you to get to that place. So, either it's an energizer or it's a detractor. But in the moment of these practices or these times where we are spending for ourselves, we have an opportunity to get into that state, to change ourselves from the inside out. Actively choosing to nourish a positive belief instead of an old limiting one. For example, I am capable. It's not ignoring the old beliefs that you are not good enough, etc., but about deciding that they no longer get to the foundation of our lives. So, those are the two things we did. Now, let's just think about some of the common blocks we hear all the time and how do we release them. This block of I am not good enough, this block of perfectionism, self sabotage, and fear of failure. And often these are generated in our childhood, where successes was praised and mistakes were criticized. So paying attention to the moments when you hesitate to try something new, when a small mistake feels like catastrophe, recognize that thought. What is it saying? Often we have this narrative that mm, I am not good enough, or this is not right. I don't have the skills. I don't have anything. I am so bad at this, etc., etc. So, challenging the thought may be a good way by asking for evidence. Give us more concrete proof that I'm not good enough. I may have messed up a little bit, but that doesn't mean I'm not good enough. Reframe the thought that from a fixed way of being, you can be actually in a growth frame of mind, which means that you're saying, just because I had this belief for about 20 years doesn't mean it's true. And that's a powerful release. That's a powerful release to say, oh, just because I held it doesn't mean it's true. So instead of I can't do this, I'm still learning. And with consistency and practice, I can improve. And in terms of something which you can hold on to, you can start to create affirmations which are just gently reinforcing the new belief. I am capable and worthy of growth. My value is not defined by my performance. And then the second block, which we often come across, is I don't deserve success. This belief is a very dangerous one and can lead to like pushing away opportunities and undercharging for your own work. So if you are an entrepreneur, this is something we often come across in businesses and in general life as well. It's the imposter syndrome or the fraudster, feeling like a fraudster. It often arises from feeling of unworthiness or past traumas. So whenever we notice you feel uncomfortable receiving praise, or when you find a reason to back out of a promising project, what is this pointing to? Is it unworthiness or guilt? And in terms of how do we overcome this, we regularly visualize, and I mean literally visualize receiving success, praise, or abundance with ease and grace. Now you can practice it in your mind's eye, and the more vivid the scene, more interesting the setting, the more emotional it is. You are actually enjoying it, you're celebrating, you're finding joy and pleasure in receiving all these affirmations of support. And this helps our subconscious mind to get used to the idea of deserving. And this idea of not deserving is something we have put in ourselves. Nobody has said this. Maybe people have said it. That doesn't mean it's true. Again, a lot of people say a lot of things, and you don't believe that. Some people think it's a flat Earth. You don't believe that, do you? But even if you do, it doesn't really matter. The point is, there are so many beliefs out there you don't catch on to. But then this belief somehow you catch on to because of our conditioning. And because of our way in which our society works. But to shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have. And this lacking concept, again, we talked about lack. We are not lacking anything. It's just a sense of unworthiness which pops up because we have been told over and over and over. Not explicitly, or sometimes even explicitly, but also through everything we see around us. Everything. Like, look at any advertisement, or look at anything on your phone, anything on your computer, anything on your, is all about, oh, you don't have this, oh, you should have this, oh, might be good for you, etc. So I don't deserve this success is a very tricky one. It's a very, and we kind of really believe it because we might not have been successful according to someone else's terms, but we have been successful. Every moment of your life you've been here is a success. Everything you have done so far or going to do is only going to bring success. So, I am worthy of all the good things life has to offer. Is an affirmation you should plant in your seed. So, these are the seeds you can plant in your subconscious as you are just listening to this. I accept success and abundance with an open heart. I actually believe it. I actually believe it for me to be true. Just release that thought of I don't deserve success because you do. Now, the biggest problem for anyone who wants to commit to a practice is what? That's right. Is I don't have time. This is a really tricky, another one which we often say, even sometimes without even realizing it. We might have said this like 5 times without even realizing we've said it. See, all the time you say it, you think your conscious brain is not listening, but your unconscious or subconscious is taking note. And it just keeps on reinforcing the message, oh, I don't have time, I don't have time, okay, I don't have time, I don't have time. I have chronic overwhelm and feeling of constantly being rushed, but that is just because the world is too busy for me. It often stems from a fear of prioritizing what is important for you and a belief that busyness equals importance or productivity. And when you feel overwhelmed like this, just stop and check in with your breath first. Notice the physical tension and racing thoughts. Acknowledge the belief that you don't have enough time. That's all right. First, acknowledge it. This is good. And then just do a time audit and a prioritization check. So, track yourself how you actually spend your time for a week. Have you ever done this? And this is a wonderful exercise. Track yourself actually. Just be really honest. Take this week, just track yourself for a week, and you will have so much free time than you think. Just a simple time audit does the job. And we don't do it because we don't have time. And this is the funny thing. And it's so the time audit thing is a good way to bring awareness to this specific time frame, and you will have time. Now the next question is, if you have time, what is important for you? And right now the things which are important for you may not be the things which your future self really cares about. Does it really care about this blog post about cats taking over humans? Maybe. But is it more interesting for us just in the moment, or is it something which is going to bring you to a fulfilled, meaningful life? We can get lost in distraction, and distraction sometimes is good. Distraction is useful. Distraction is essential, in fact. When we are distracted, our mind gets focused on something, whereas the subconscious is refiguring itself, reconfiguring while all of this is happening. So in distraction time, you might be having some thoughts of new ideas, like the idea of this talk, for example, came to me while I was distracted, consciously distracted with a game I play, and it just came to me. Okay, I should talk about mental blockages or subconscious beliefs, and this came about. So being distracted is fine. Then, if there is time and there is important things you need to do, why is it not scheduled? I know, okay, the scheduling word sounds scary, And I do not mean a colorful calendar that looks so pretty that you just want to copy it and then realize that most of it is just random things anyway. Is is not what I talk about when I talk about scheduling. Mindful scheduling is consciously setting aside time for both you and your rest. Now I'll explain again. It is for you for making steps like this where you practice uh, intention, practice different ideas, practice transformational ideas, and then rest. Rest as in you take a break from thinking about things. You lie down, you close your eyes, maybe go to sleep, maybe wake up, then we do it again. Just resting. Without distraction, without phone, without TV, just you simply being with yourself. I know this is scary. A lot of people, sadly, don't want to be with themselves. And that is such a sad truth, which is which is taking over this whole world, in fact. And they just want somebody else or something else they can latch onto so that they just simply cannot be there for themselves. And and they are not able to then take the steps that are truly in their own hands to change how they feel, how they do, how they act, how they transform themselves and others. So it is important to do all this, the time audit, prioritization, scheduling, all of that from a compassionate standpoint. You don't have to be strict. You don't have to be like an atomic clock, for example. That's the most accurate clock in the world. Just saying it, but it can be in your mind. It can be something scheduled on paper. It can be something you change every day. It does not really matter. So the idea is you have enough time, and what is important is using that time to do deep work and also rest. I create my time, and I'm in control of my own schedule. Unless you work for someone else, and there might be slight conflict in schedule, but that is because of the work situation. So that is different. This is not about work. The other fascinating subconscious belief which we carry around a lot is that this is too hard. I don't know if a lot of people feel this, but I certainly do. I think is probably the biggest one, is that we lead to stagnation. There's a lot of resistance to personal growth. There's a fear of failing, unknowns, past negative experiences with different situations. We fall back into the same loops we've done in the past, expecting different results. Literally did that like a week ago, where I had a habit of doing something which was not really helpful for my financial situation. But I kept doing that again. I started doing that again. And I just caught myself. I was like, why am I doing this again? I did it for a couple of times, and it's not a healthy habit. You probably can guess what I was doing, but it's not a healthy habit, and it just basically throws money away. And the reason I was doing it is not because that was a new idea which came to me, the way in which I should uh, like transform. So I've done a lot of internal work, and then suddenly now I'm in like a better mind state to be able to do the gambling which I was doing. Is not the fact that now I'm in different mind state, that now it's easier for me. It is because it is a pattern which is emotional attachment to me, and that is the only thing I knew. So I went back to it and I was like, okay, I'm here now. And this time it was different because I caught myself. So the change is too hard is coming. I'm coming to the point is I caught myself. I was like, what am I doing? I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm losing similar sort of money. I am going down the same road. And then it hit me. You don't have to be your past choices. And I simply quit, stopped the thing, closed the account, and came back to reality, came back to myself. And this is why I call changes too hard because there are so many underlying issues like gambling, like addiction, like vices, things which are so subconscious, so deep rooted that it can come out any moment in time to sabotage it. So just being aware of it gave me the sense of direction. And I asked the same question which I was asking you is this serving my future self, or is this something which I want to honor of my past self, just to forgive it, just to help my past self know that what you did back then and lost whatever 10,000 pounds is okay. And now I've never spoken about it in this much detail, but it's actually liberating in a way. But the point I'm trying to make is change is hard. Incremental change, slowly taking these steps. You might think that you are going back to always, but trust in your process, trust in your progress, that you will be different this time. And even if you find yourself in the grips of things which are difficult, starting to cultivate the belief that this is not for you. Start to become more in line with what your future wants. Is the future looking at you right now and thinking, this is something which I will be doing, or this is something which is important for me? If it is, carry on. Like if the future says this is important for you, carry on. But the future has to be clear, and the only way you listen to your future is when you get rid of all these blockages. So once you get rid of these blockages, and then you find, okay, these are the important things, and if money is important, go for it. Make as much as you want. 100% is out there. Like, there's no doubt there is enough and more for every single human who has ever lived and going to ever live. 100%. It's just allocated slightly differently. So there is enough. If there is something else you want, please, please get in touch with your future self. So I embrace change as an opportunity for growth. I move forward with courage and confidence. So we come into the fifth, the block of I'm not loved. Now, I will not spend too much time on this because I think we need a separate discussion about all this. But just the idea of people pleasing and emotional unavailability, the intense fear of rejection, it can be such a deep seated. It starts off from literally from whenever you were ready. It can be deep seated. It can even have generational, like there's some epigenetics which can be at play in how receptive you are to love and how much you can give, etc. So there's like lots of stuff there, but it's a deep-seated belief from past feeling of abandonment or emotional neglect. This is where it comes from. If you have been a child and you left alone for a long time, you will feel certain things. So paying attention to moments when you seek validation from others, when you feel emotionally guarded, notice the fear of being truly seen. And we have practices for this. We have been doing to support, but none of the practices work unless you have the intention to change something. Like you can practice self compassion forever, but if your intention is just to be like you were always, then it might not work. But if your intention is to, okay, I will use this practice to start to see these blocks for what they are, start to release the grips of these blocks. So treat yourself with the kindness, understanding you would offer someone you love, which is often said, but again, we don't do it. Many ways you can write yourself a compassionate letter acknowledging your struggles and affirming your worth, which is also easy, but nobody does it. Use self inquiry to ask yourself, what would a loved person do? I am whole and complete just as I am. I am worthy of love and connection. And finally, I can't trust others, or everybody else is out to get me. Now, this is a dangerous yet pervasive, yet everybody around right now I have met has expressed some form of I can't trust others. Everyone, like anyone I've spoken to in the last few months is mentioned this. I can't trust this group of people. I can't trust them. I cannot be. I don't understand what they are doing. I don't believe everybody is out to get me, etc. These beliefs starts as a need for excessive control, an inability to form deep meaningful connections. Yes, and it's difficult maybe if you were brought up in a society where this was really the norm. It is difficult, 100%. But if you are not from that, then why do you have these? That comes from cultural conditioning or people teaching you, you watching certain ideas, ideologies and certain ideas from the news, etc. This is what happens. You get conditioned to thinking they can't be trusted unless you have some real genuine. I know everybody has had friends who don't call them or like have mistrusted them. Everybody has family members like this. Everyone has this. It is not the fact that we don't have people who mistrust us all the time, but when it is pervasive around our society, feeding this narrative of some people are bad and they're out to get us and they cannot be trusted and you have to be safe, you have to do all this, we just then become so scared to look at people. We get really we like our intentions are set in the wrong way. Our intentions are, okay, this person who I'm going to see is here to take something from me. So then you're guarded, you're not open. And I don't know many people in the world. I know like probably 50,000 people. But, well, 50,000, I think we meet around 50,000 people. General human being, not celebrities, because you guys meet, I don't know, 50,000 a day. But general human beings meet around 50,000 people, and that's not a big enough sample size to decide this number of people are completely trustless, or they're this or that. This is such a sample. Like even in maths, this is so clear. Like 50,000 out of I don't know how many people have lived 100 billion. So 50,000 people, and you're making a call on, wow, this is untrustworthy. it doesn't add up. Unless, as I mentioned, if you were in a state or place where that was difficult to trust others, that's a different narrative. This is not for most of us. We are kind of in a privileged, comfortable life where we still carry around these things when we don't have to. So noticing when you are automatically suspicious of others, and when you try to control every detail of a situation, paying attention to physical tension in your body that accompanies this lack of trust. Where does that come from? Where is it? And in therapeutic circuits, it's used. One of the ways is to use exposure therapy. So you start practicing trust in small quantities or situations. For example, trusting a friend with a small detail or delegating a minor task. As you build successful experiences, but your subconscious mind learns that trusting others can be safe and rewarding, is the idea in the exposure therapy. But what is more important is reframing. Exposure can get you to a certain place, but then when you have another example of some sort of mistrust which didn't go according to plan, what happens? So you have to reframe. You have to start to create narratives which quell this, just gets rid of this, I can't trust others. Yes, you can. You can trust others. People are generally worried about one thing and one thing only, themselves. So the best way to trust someone is to be trustworthy. If you are trustworthy, if you are practicing trust, you give people trust, yeah, they betray, whatnot. You show the empathy, you show the humanness in you. Most people will reciprocate. The problem is when we want someone else to do something for us. That is when the problem is. So the idea is like, if you are a trustworthy human being, most people reciprocate it. When you are angry, you see other people angry, right? When you are sad, you feel like everyone else is working on sadness. When you are happy, you see like everybody is happy. And when you are trustworthy, you see most people as trustworthy. So I'm opening my heart to my healthy connections. I trust my ability to protect my energy. These are affirmations you can say to literally change this narrative that I can't trust people. So, what did we learn? What did we learn today? We learned that the nature of subconscious blocks is deep-seated, 100%. Things like I'm not good enough, I don't deserve success, they carry with us. Often without us realizing it, it just appears. They can influence our actions, emotions, and the way we feel. And the idea is not to change them instantly, but to create a powerful way of attracting your future self to you. So we started by practicing a little bit of mindful awareness, some cognitive reframing, etc. And we looked at 6 common blocks. Not good enough, I don't deserve success, I don't have time, change is too hard, not loved, can't trust others. And we brought some light into all of them. So that is basically what hidden beliefs can do to you and how you can replace them and powerfully change our internal world and unlock your amazing true potential. So thank you for listening to me. If you like what we do, please consider sharing your thoughts, comments, likes, all of that. And always subscribe, come back to these daily practice sessions with me, Nikhil. Thank you for listening. And practice makes progress and much more. And see you on the next one.